Hello, it's Jewel Fitzgerald from Monday's Admissions from the Heart. Yeah, last week I kind of left you with I got something exciting we'll talk about this Monday. Yeah, the first Monday in March, March 3rd. And now God just totally changed my plan because I was supposed to be in sunny Phoenix. I was hoping to have my phone or camera or whatever is videoing my piece out in a nice sunny Phoenix area, but it's not. I'm in my office where it's a little chilly outside, about 30 degrees. The interesting part is I had been in Phoenix, it's only 50 anyway. Their original forecast was 78 to 70 to 80, and then it dropped 20 degrees. So I'm like, I'm in Phoenix, sunny but cold. And their cold is bitter cold because they have that dry cold. So it feels a little different or colder to me than here. So whatever. Gotta change the plan because I ended up in emergency instead I was supposed to have been there from Saturday to tomorrow. So I was supposed to have been there and video in this nice sunny warm place that I didn't go to. And the ironic part about it, I ended up in ER, and the person, the older sister from our church that I was visiting, who was 86, ended up in the hospital anyway. So if I had gone, I'd have been homeless because she'd have been in the hospital. So I don't know. Well, I'm sure if God had meant me to go when all that happened, he was somehow had provided housing for me. But that'd have been interesting, especially finding out the same day that, what? I'm not coming to your house. I'm going to be where? I don't know. Because I couldn't even have went to the hospital where she was, because by the time my flight flew in, which was 8:30 at night, I don't even know if they would have even had visitors allowed in her hospital that late at night for me to maybe get her key and stay at her place. So I don't know. That would have been an exciting adventure. But everything that I do or have with God is always an exciting adventure. So doesn't matter. She was in a hospital. I was in ER. And I even thought I might have been admitted and we would have been in the hospital together. But what happened was I woke up on that Saturday morning, the morning I was supposed to have been flying out. Super bad case of diarrhea. And first thing I thought about is, oh my goodness, this is the start of that 10-day bout I had back in January because it felt so much like that. It was in such agony, such pain. And I said, oh no, we're canceling this trip because I am not going to another place where my doctors are not. So if I have to be in the hospital, get some kind of medical care, I'm going to be here in Cleveland where we get tons of excellent medical care, and I want to be here where they know my record. Because I'll never forget the time I was did a half a marathon in Vegas with some friends of ours, friends of mine, my other race friends. We did a nighttime. Actually, did two races while I was out there, but one of them was at nighttime, and they actually might have both been at nighttime, but whatever. We did two races. The longest one was at night. So my respiration was horrible that they had to actually take me to ER while I was out there in Vegas. Ooh, to me, I hate to say this, Vegas's medical care is like third world country to me. So it was the day before we had to fly, and everybody was so concerned about, oh my gosh, can we get on a plane? Because I could hardly breathe, and they were thinking, oh my gosh, the air pressure, all that kind of stuff. But that just jacked me up, trying to get me home. So they took me to ER so we could get some kind of help. So we went to ER, and they gave me something just because they didn't have my records. You know, they didn't have the access then. Thinking maybe they have some places have that now more, but I don't even want to find that out about Phoenix. I ain't going to try. So, especially in the middle of the desert. So they gave me something. I don't remember what it was. I don't know, they gave me antibiotics or I don't know what they gave me. Something so that I could at least get on a plane, get home, and get to my doctor. So I said, I don't want to go there again. So this time I hit that off the pass, canceled the airfare, canceled the rental car, and I just didn't go. So I went to ER instead. And it's a good thing because then they did a whole battery of tests on me there and found out, which we probably was going to find out through a pulmonologist, but earlier than planned. Well, not even planned because I've been coughing since December, And I haven't been able to get the original pulmonologist appointment because as a specialist for a little over a month. So I couldn't even see a pulmonologist for a good month and a half. I'm coughing, hacking, and whatnot. So now we know right now, this very moment, I have bronchitis and I have a UTI. And who knows what the diarrhea, because I'm saying that still has no connection. That doctors have no clue what that's all about. I keep saying God just keeps using these incidences for them to look deeper to find out what's going on with me. So now the pulmonologist got this information a little earlier than planned. So now I just got to wait for that pulmonary test that I was telling you about, but that's next week, and then see him, and then see what's the real treatment plan for me now, since I got this bronchitis and I have my usual allergens and high IgE and blah blah blah, and in addition to the stomach mass. So back to the stomach mass, since all this stuff is happening all at the same time, let's just do it all together. Like I said, can't be normal. That's why this is Can't Be Normal Part 3. Who knows how long this series is gonna roll. But anyway, so the last week we got the results from the I can't even get the word out. The path report on the biopsy. The biopsy was good. There's no cancer involved. So now we just got to schedule a date for the surgery. So I have an appointment with my doctor this week with the surgeon. So the interesting thing about that surgeon appointment is I got the results last Wednesday, talked to the doctor last Wednesday. So I've been waiting on Thursday, Friday to hear from the surgeon or whatever the next step is to go do this surgery. Nothing. So then my general practitioner, oh, I love her. She is the bomb. She called me on Friday to ask me, had you heard anything from the doctor? And I'm like, nope, I've been waiting to find out. Because she said she's been watching my situation, because she's the main one that sent me down this path anyway, and she's the one that knows my entire history. Everybody else just keeps adding in there. All these specialists keep adding in their stuff to my story. So she knows the story from way back. So she said, wait a minute, this dude didn't even put an order in for you to get a surgeon. So she went in there, created an order, made me an appointment with a surgeon, and here we go. That's why I got the appointment. So I'm like, hey, I'm glad you on it, because I'd have been like, come on, let's get this party started. I want to get this thing out and recoup. I got places to go, things to do. So, so yeah. So there we are. Waiting for her to talk to the surgeon this week and see what he has to say about it. Now, especially when that's bronchitis, I don't know if that's going to cause a little extra drama. But since mine is a chronic problem anyway, not just the bronchitis, but just the whole lung thing since forever. I can't imagine. We're going to make sure it's fixed before we cut. I say, well, we'll never get it done. I have a chronic problem. So it's not going around. It's not going away tomorrow unless God says it's going away tomorrow. So right now, it's here. So, because this darn lung situation has been around a long time. I can't remember if I ever mentioned any of that in my other videos, but my lung situation actually got worse on another race I did in New Mexico in 2018, when I did a race in the desert in New Mexico called the Bataan. And ever since then, my lungs have never been the same, ever. I mean, I had good breathing before that, but after that, it just has never been the same. And that's where the communicable doctors have been, what do you call those guys? Infectious disease doctors have always been trying to figure out what's going on, what's growing in me, what's going on, because they're thinking I brought some of this stuff back from New Mexico. And I've since learned that New Mexico is not the place for me to be hanging out at because of my allergens and the crazy stuff they have out there. They have dust all the time, and I was coughing. I was coughing like crazy when I went out there. And I remember the girl that I stayed with told me that you're going to be coughing up dust for weeks. And sure enough, I was coughing up dust for weeks. And like I said, my allergens haven't been the same since. But after being in the desert, going 26 miles on a marathon, and then playing in the white sands. Now it's called the National Park. It was a monument then in 2018. Now it's a national park. That didn't help me because I could feel, I actually feel this white sand just hitting me. I'm thinking, damn, I'm sucking this in. This is not good. So the blessing about all that, thanks only to God, in the desert, I don't have lung damage from that. I mean, there should be scarring, all this other stuff from being in the desert, doing all this, several days in the desert on top of that. The race itself, the conditioning to get ready for the race, the national park twice in the same weekend. Nope, no kind of scarring. It's just that respiration hasn't been good, and we can't figure that out. But the lungs look still peachy keto. So that's the blessing part there, other than the fact that, my breathing hasn't been all that good. And I already told you some stories about how they were trying to figure out what my issue was, asthma and all that kind of stuff. And now we had finally got down to the E-asthma, the eosyphilis asthma, and that's my real issue. So, but now I have bronchitis. But that's because I'm back to what I used to be in 2020 when I used to get bronchitis all the time in in the wintertime. And so that's why I'm like, I feel like I'm back in 2020 during the pandemic when I had a super bad case of bronchitis. I had a little pneumonia going on there too. And yeah, I did have, not a little case, I had a good case of pneumonia. And that's why they had to make sure it was pneumonia the old school way and not the COVID way, which it wasn't. So there we go. So, I'm trying to think. I'm talking so fast, I think I might have talked myself out of what I was trying to talk to you about. So, yeah, it's just crazy how my story never just say, okay, you just have one thing. No, we gotta have a couple things. So we got the mask, which we gotta take out on some future date, which I would love for that all to happen this week. This week, I took the whole week off. The whole week off. I've never done that before for my birthday. This is my last year in the 60s. So I'll be 69 at the end of the week. So like this is my last year in the 60s. I'm gonna take the whole week off and just chill. Granted, the first 3 days of it, 3 nights of it, I was supposed to be in Phoenix, and then the rest of the weekend I was just supposed to be here, but no, now I'm home. So now I was like, wow, I got all these open days with nothing on the schedule because I was supposed to be in a whole other city, a whole other time zone, but I get to be here at home doing, I don't know, I feel like nothing because I've just been chilling out. So I'm enjoying this time of taking a whole week off for my birthday. So, which leads me into some of these scriptures I have here, because let's just look at Philippians 4:4, where it says, "Rejoice in the Lord always." I will say it again, rejoice. And then in 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18, "Rejoice always, pray continually. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." And that's where I'm at now. I'm just rejoicing, even though I'm like, do I really have to go through this again? This hard, oh my gosh, lung issues and that kind of stuff. But I still can rejoice, even though I'm like coughing all the time here, or just being breathless. Oh, chest thing going on here. Not wheezing, so that's good. Because every time the doctors listen, they're like, well, you're not wheezing, your lungs sound really good. It's just, you got this bronchitis going on, so your bronchitis and some kind of aspirations going on. It's like, ooh, man. So we'll see how they really want to treat this besides the what do we call them things? Dang, I can't even think of the word right now. You know what I'm thinking? Inhalers. To help me out to open my lungs up. So, and get this darn mass out, get that surgery done, because it would be lovely, and I don't see it happening, but hey, God can do anything. It'd be nice if they say, okay, let's do the surgery this week, you're off, I'm off, then I could get the surgery started and be recouped by the time I go back to work next week. But I don't know, we'll see, because God knows my schedule. He'll have it perfectly planned whenever we're going to have the surgery done. And he's going to have it perfectly planned on how we're going to work through this latest thing with my lungs. Like, even though, like, what the heck? Why is this back here anyway? And what needs to be done instead? Do I need to have to go back on the biologics or whichever? We don't want to do that, because that whole IV thing was not fun. Sitting there. Well, the only fun part about it was I got to read and just chill and do nothing for a couple hours. But having somebody poke you all the time, especially if they had a hard time getting it because my veins roll. So we warned the medical people about that, and then they do what they do. So I've always been praying every time I have somebody bring a needle that they're going to put in my vein. I pray for them. I don't pray to not to get one stick. I say pray that they can get one stick, because for nursing, doctors, nurses, to do one stick is good for them. It just makes them happy. It's good. But if they have to go 2, 3 times in there and got to get a couple more people in, it's just exacerbating for them, and it's just makes their job that much harder. So I always pray for the nursing people to get the one stick in, and we just keep moving on. And so far, it's been working out real good, because I've just been in the hospital many times. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus, you got one stick, and they got an OIV up in here. So it helps me out, because then it's not as painful. I don't come away bruised because they had to hit me more than once. Woo! Yeah, that wasn't no fun. So anyway, here we are. I'm not in sunny Phoenix like I was hoping to be, walking around with the palm trees behind me and sun, even though it's going to be cold in the 50s as it turned out. But I'm here in Cleveland, 36 degrees, and a little breathless, but I'm all good because I'm still here walking. I'm going to be celebrating 69 years on Friday. So my last year in my 60s. Next year I'll be 70. So I'm thanking God for every day that He gives me, every breath that He gives me, even if the breath is kind of something like that. But it's all good because I'm here, and this is all happening for His divine purpose. So who knows? So thank you for coming by, and we will see what I get to talk about next Monday on Monday's Admissions for the Heart. Yeah, because by that time, next Monday, okay, I will talk to the surgeon, so maybe I'll have a date. And I still won't see the pulmonologist until Tuesday, so we won't have the info unless something else happens and appointments get pushed up or something. Because they've been trying to push up my PF appointment, but I've never been available. And I'm like, now I'm home. Okay, I'm available. But I'm not, I haven't got any notices. So here we go. Next week, come back so we can find out why I continue to not be normal. See you later. It's just the way God rolls with me. I know I'm being a little slimy today because I'm just home. I'm like, I can't handle it. So, see you guys. I gotta go.